once my head goes and it starts to just kind of write and do things, I start to just think stuff, right? So I just started writing down a few things that were associated with success. They're a little bit different, not necessarily marketing or sales, more stuff a little bit higher, a little bit more philosophical, a little bit more principles, a little bit more certain things that I think have certainly helped me in my thinking and my achievement. If I've achieved anything in life, certainly a lot of self-confidence and belief. Some of the things I'll put on the screen at the end will be what I would say, and the way I've positioned it is to my kids. So you can argue with me all you want about what I put on the screen. I'm not bothered. It's just literally it's irrelevant. It's what I would tell my kids, right? So I'm going to come from that point of view, and up to you whether you like some of them. You might like one or two of them. You might not like them. It's up to you. Just move on to the next one. So I hope you like them, and it just comes from that point of view, basically. These are some of the thoughts that if I was pushed by my kids in later life, this is what I would want them to kind of take from me, if you like, rather than anything else that I could leave them. So the first thing, let's get into this one. Is an identity expansion needed? So what that means is very simple. Many of you think of yourself as a PT, and I think you need to start thinking bigger. And I think you need to change what that identity is. For example, the issue that many people have in business that stops them getting success in business is they don't like to hire. They don't recruit. They don't like this evil, variable, inconsistent, emotional beast, if I'm allowed to say it, me included, that is a human being. We just don't really have a passion for it, and that's what gets in the way. People are genuinely frightened about hiring because of all of the things that could go wrong. So what happens is people get stuck in this idea of themselves of being a PT. I'm a PT, I'm a PT, I'm a PT. And maybe 5 or 10 years ago, you wanted to be a great PT. And because you had an identity of yourself as a great PT, you became a great PT. Fantastic. Well done. The problem is now, you've probably hit a ceiling, as many of you are finding out. Conversations I've had back there today with Lauren and pretty much every single one of you in the room, that suggests you're out of time. There's only so much you can do. And the problem with being a PT is you can't 10x your hours to 10x your income, as you're all finding out. The only option that you've got is what? People, right? Leverage, compound. How do we compound 10 people's skills and their effort and their time in order to free you up to give you more money or make you more money, but equally enhance your lifestyle? It's very difficult, right? I wouldn't swap my job for a high-paid doctor, a high-paid lawyer. You still have to go to work every day as a high-paid lawyer or a high-paid doctor. And at the end of it, it has a ceiling, right? You have to work 50 hours a week to get what you want. It has a ceiling, whichever way you look at it. However, if the identity changes to be a team builder, infinite. I can build teams on both sides of the Atlantic. I can build teams in multiple businesses. I can build teams from anywhere in the world. I can put 5 people on this project. I can put 5 people on that one. I can put 10 on this site. I can put 5 in this area. I can put 5 in a marketing team. I can put 5 in a CFO team. I can put 4 in a sales team. I can build a real estate company. If my identity expands and goes past just being a great PT, what I'm capable of is so much more. Following me? Where a lot of people get stuck is in the identity that was probably relevant 5 years ago. It was right to think of yourself as needing to be a great PT. That's what you want it to be. That's what you are. And you're never going to lose that. But when the ceiling is hit, it's time for an upgrade. So I joke in the office that really my job is to spot talent. I'm a talent spotter and I build teams. That's it. That's kind of what I do, right? When all is said and done right now, that's my life. I build a team. I give them a scorecard. I give them a direction. I let them get on with it, and I try to get out of the way as much as I can. And if I hire really, really good people, then I give them clear directions. I communicate well. I can motivate them. And I spend more and more time doing that. Then what I'm capable of and what I can achieve is through the roof. So to try and get over the hang-up that many people have with hiring, you've got to change that identity of yourself. If you see yourself as a PT, these people will become inconveniences. And you'll treat them like inconveniences, and they'll leave like inconveniences. They'll half-ass their effort. They'll just feel it. They'll just feel every second of I didn't really want to do this. I kind of had to do this. Which, if I'm allowed to say it, I'm not saying it in this community, but generally in the business owner community worldwide, that's kind of what it is. It's like, oh shit, I need to hire somebody. Okay, all right, then how do I do it? Right, well, your scorecard, a job ad. Great, well, can I do it in one interview or do I need to do two? And because of that, there's a resentment on the way in and there's probably a resentment on the way out. And a lot of that happens because I believe, as I've watched, the identity is I'm a physio. I'm not somebody who hires people. I'm not a business owner. I'm not a team builder. But if I start to think of myself as a team builder, all of a sudden, the expansiveness, right, which is the word that I love. I wrote these exact words this morning. Some version of, I'm paraphrasing. If you have an expansive view, right, it's like looking out on the Sahara Desert, right? It's just forever. Like your life literally will go like this. But most people's view is like looking down a one-way street on Manhattan. Like it's just like, it just gets narrower the further you look down. And because of that, life gets closed off. Like your life is getting closed off because you have a narrow view of who you are. Whereas when you open up the view of who you are, it becomes a bit more expansive. It's endless. And at this point in my life, I'm sure, and I hope I've got another one for you in a year or two, but I can't believe that there's a better thing to be than a team builder. I don't know what better skill to have. Really at the heart of anybody that you admire in business. Damon John's coming on the stage. All I'm going to talk to, the best thing about the Damon John interview, they said, what do you want? Do you want a keynote or do you want a 1 hour interview? He's like, fucking 1 hour interview, please. Right next to him. All I'm going to ask him about is people, team, how he manages, like all of the stuff. We can go on, he's a cool guy, you know, he looks good, he's amazing, he's fun, he's everything else, but he's surely an incredible team builder. Had to be to get to that point in his life. So whoever you admire in business, take away the glitz and the glamour, and what you'll see behind it is somebody who's relatively good and passionate about people. And it generally starts with a positive outlook on people. I've been in groups, I've been in masterminds, and you can tell the people whose businesses are struggling because they just have a negative view of people, full stop. Right? That's where it starts. Everybody's bad, everybody's out to get you, everybody's fucking you over, everybody's incompetent, everybody's whatever, right? Now, most people can be incompetent, right? I use the word can, right? They can be. They do have bad days, they have shit going on, they have stuff happening in their life, and yada, 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 right? But if you accept that, and also accept this as fact, so do you. We're all equal now. We're just a bit more tolerant of our shit, because it's our business. We're a bit more tolerant of our sleeping in or hangovers or not necessarily turning up for work 100% because it's us. So I think if you really get clear on that, it becomes a lot easier to actually really embrace people, just generally. You know, I think it just starts generally with an outlook. Most people are all right, like they're decent people. You put them in a greenhouse, they'll grow. They do. Like they're not all bad out there. The world has been built for one or two dickheads, right, that we all have to conform to. They all have to clock in and clock out because some fucker 100 years ago turned up late one morning, right? So the rest of the world had to clock in and clock out for that knobhead, right? Literally, that's kind of how it's gone. It's been built. It's been built to catch the small majority of people out. But I think a lot of people get caught up in that we're tarring everybody with the same brush. So as you start to think about your growth and what you want, I think it starts with this identity expansion. Are you a great physio? Are you a great PT? Are you even a clinic owner? Or are you a team builder? I think team builder is bigger than entrepreneur. I can be an entrepreneur, but I can get stuck if I'm not a team builder. That's not sexy. Entrepreneur is, right? Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. Hashtag entrepreneur, right? Hashtag team builder. Just start with a genuine love of people and just being around people and just liking people and like nice and fun and what have you, right? But then take it all the way to, I know what I'm looking for. I know what I want. I know what your background needs to be. And I'm going to get a kick, a thrill out of you coming into my life. Some will come in and do a tremendous job and then they'll leave, and that's fine. Like that's cool as well, as long as they leave better people. One of my office staff quit last week, and a good thing. It was Nick. Nick's amazing, good friend of mine. And he came in and he said, look, I just want to say thank you. I want to tell you to your face, by the way, first one that's done that for a long time, fucking long time, that somebody's walked in and said, I'm telling you to your face, rather than an email, right? I just want to let you know, blah, blah, blah. Before you find out, I'm leaving. I said, okay, cool. Congratulations. New job, closer to home, nothing wrong whatsoever. He said, I just couldn't turn this down. It's closer to home, a bit more money. And we both really knew he was probably better and could do more than what I was kind of giving him in the role. He said, I just want to let you know, it's the best 2 years I've ever had employment. I've really grown as a person. And I think I've got this, this kind of next step in my career now because of like coming to work for you for 2 years. That's good enough for me. It's like, what more do you want? Like, that thrills me. And even when people leave, like there was a little bit of needle when 1 or 2 of the physio clinic left because of Kayla. Is she still on? I'm chucking Kayla under the bus, right? But obviously I get the shit, right? Like, it always makes its way back to me, whatever happens, right? Kayla forced them out. It was nothing to do with me. I was in fucking New York for the weekend when all that shit was going on, right? I was having the time of my life with the kids. And I come back to all of this shit, right? Like, it's nothing to do with me. But I get the brunt of it, right? But I'm still ecstatic that the 3 people involved in it all would, and I know they do, admit privately to having the time of their life in that period of time, that they grew as people, their confidence increased. They were definitely better people when they left my world, and they were definitely better employees, 2 different things. Stronger characters, undoubtedly, and confident enough to kind of go do their own thing. And for that, I like, even though they might have a little bad word or little negativity about me or the business or Kayla or whoever, Sophie, you were involved in it by all accounts, weren't you? I'm chucking everybody under the bus. Anybody else? Cam, was he involved? I'm not taking the blame. Fuck you, I'm telling you, it's nothing to do with me. I'm still ecstatic that they're happy, like, and that we had a good time. And it's up to them what they do after that, right? So I generally think, that's why I love being a dad. I've said this. I love being a dad. I love getting to watch people grow. I love getting to watch my kids grow and develop and just nurture them and just keep them in their little, go on, Tobias, you go do your thing. Okay, Harry, you go do your thing. He's a little nudge every now and again, and getting to watch the kids grow. It's exactly the same with your people if you choose to do that. If you have a thrill out of developing people, your kids, and watching them grow, there's no difference really. And I mean that completely respectfully. Like, you want people to do well in life. Why wouldn't you? It just defies all logic. It's a win-win situation as a business owner. It doesn't always, and it can't always be financially sometimes. Sometimes each role has a certain level where you just go, Nick, you need to go. I get it. But the character can go, the character can grow, and you can be helpful and responsible for that. So I think if you see yourself as a team builder, nothing, like, I bet you if you pulled Luke, when we talk, like, it's, come on, let's go, here's what I need, here's the next thing. There's an energy, there's an excitement in the voice. Because I'm looking for the next Tiffany, I'm looking for the next Sophie, the next Nick, the next Cam, Simon, well, maybe, but we ain't going to find another one of them, right? Let's get that clear. But there's a genuine excitement at the prospect of that person coming into my life. Really, humbly, genuinely is. That I get to work with those people every day. Why wouldn't I? Like, I get to trust them. And I think that's what I hope, that you cross that barrier, if there is one, that mental block that you might have about hiring people. Where's the expansion needed? Think about that. What do you want to do? Sahara? Wake up and look out on the Sahara? Endless. Unlimited possibility for yourself. As a team builder or a talent spotter. Manhattan, one-way street as a physio. It's a cool place to live, right? It's a cool street to be on. All right, it isn't, but it's a cool place to visit. But you get the point, right? Like, you can live there and it's all right and it's nice, and I was going to say it's safe, but it probably isn't, right? Like, there's just some fun stuff to do, and it's all right, right? It's okay. But why not live like that? And the reason that I wanted Jason on in that top until this day today was for the same reason. Why not think of yourself as a celebrity? Why not think of yourself as the guy, as the girl? Why wait for somebody to announce that you're the guy or the girl? Step the fuck up and take it, for crying out loud. Some fucker in your town is gonna. Don't wait for a little bastard like me to come along at 27, because I'd do it. 27-year-old, when I left football, I was determined to be in the papers, to be on radio, to write the book, to do whatever I could to be the guy. You ask Natty, taxis, I'm with Paul Gough, he's the physio guy. Everywhere they went, I'm coming to see Paul. Is he the physio? What are you doing here? Every single person, you say my name, would know me as within reason, as the physio guy. It's because I obsessed over this concept of, if they know your name, you've got a chance. I think you can do it. I think you can do the exact same thing. Now, whether or not you choose to do anything with Jason, that's up to you. But the seed, I wanted to plant, that it's there for you. And if you think bigger and you expand your identity past being a physio, a lot of things are possible for you. It'll take you to places that you're probably not comfortable with. It'll take you onto radio. It will take you onto TV. It'll take you to do press releases. It'll take you into people actually going, oh, that's the guy I've seen in the newspapers. That's the author of the book. Fantastic. Deal with it. It's amazing. You watch what happens when somebody comes in and says, oh, how much? And you say it with a straight face. They sign up because they want to deal with that guy or with that girl. It's as old as time that you will spend more money with somebody who's a perceived celebrity or expert. What's the name? Ramsey, fucking Gordon Ramsay. You can't tell me that dude's fish is any fucking better than the dude next door. Right, in Vegas, there's a restaurant, Gordon Ramsay's fucking restaurant, right? You'll probably be going. Well, you might go in April or March, whenever, if it's still open at 4 o'clock in the morning when you come out of the nightclubs when we're there for our event. But you cannot tell me that that fish is worth $80 more than the fish next door. But people are paying it because he's on TV. Can we start to think about an identity expansion? I'll talk about it a bit more as the weeks and the months and the years go on. Move away from being a physio. It probably served you very, very well 5 years ago, and that's amazing. I'm not being disrespectful to anybody who's on that journey. You leave college, bang, I want to be a great physio. Great. That was what your identity needed to be at that time. Now, I'm a business owner. Great, that's my new identity. But I've probably got a bigger one that I can claim. Celebrity, in Jason's case, which he's doing, by the way. I've seen this dude's numbers, as has everybody in CEO, and they'll back it up. It's mega star, like what this dude's doing. And he won't mind me admitting, there's not that much like difference. And I say that about myself. There's not that much special about somebody like me or him, right, who might be making a bit more money or doing something different. It's just you get that little opportunity and you just go get it. Somebody in your town is now figuring out how to be the celebrity PT. You'll be pissed off when you start seeing them in the papers or on the TV or on the radio that it could have been you. And primarily it's because you just don't think you're good enough to go get it.
Thanks for watching this video. And if you found it helpful, and if you now find yourself thinking, I wonder what else this person can help me with, head over to paulgough.com/books, where you can find my best-selling books, which will show you how to add more profit to your practice. Or send an email to paul@paulgough.com to ask about how we can help you accelerate the growth and profitability of your clinic. And by the way, if you know anybody who would find this helpful, please share this video out. Thanks so much.